Hello, if you know me, which you probably don't, I main Pyro. I don't think I've ever said this on YouTube, but yeah, I main Pyro. And today I'm gonna be ranking every Pyro weapon in TF2. And remember, this is just my opinion. But my opinion is definitely correct, because I main Pyro, and I'm the only correct person on the earth. And if you disagree with me, then you should kill yourself. Anyways, the Extinguisher. Probably the best melee in the entirety of Pyro's kit. Best Pyro melee because it releases dopamine in my brain, and dopamine is good. So I'm gonna put it in the goated tier. The Back Scratcher. The Back Scratcher is pretty good because 1. Nobody plays medic, and 2. You're most likely gonna play alone because nobody ubers anybody other than a heavy. If there is an engineer or medic on the team that's good though, it's a pretty punishing downside to get healed 90% less. But at the end of the day, bro, you're still a Pyro and you still get more health from health packs. You can do well alone, it's not that hard. Pretty good. The Backburner. Well, if you're actually good at the game and not shit, you can kill your enemies and gain back all of the ammo you waste on using Air Blast. Even if you air blast kill someone, you can get back your ammo because they drop a medium ammo box. So the downside is pretty much situational, and so is the upside. But the upside is pretty good. If your enemies have the situational awareness of a Dirt Eater, you're gonna do pretty well. Average to above average. The Degreaser. The Degreaser is a pretty good weapon for comboing, and because I love combo Pyro, and because it releases dopamine into my small brain, I'm gonna put it in the goated tier. It sucks doing so little afterburn damage, but still, you have flares and a mini critting axe to finish them off, bro. If you're not finishing them off, you suck. The Detonator. It's like a verse flare gun, good for mobility, but not really my type of weapon. So I have to put it in the pretty good tier because still it's pretty good. The Dragon's Fury. Well, if you do well, it's pretty good. It's more satisfying than using these two in certain situations, like when you melt down a heavy, but if you're not really good or you get fucked over by the small hitbox, you're gonna try to kill yourself because it sucks so bad. I'll put it in pretty good. The Stock Fire Axe. Do I really need to say anything? It has its moments, but actually I don't know. I mean, it's not really it, but it has its moments. There's no real passive downside. You can still do random crits, no damage penalty, but it's just not really it. The Stock Flamethrower. The most reliable flamethrower, no air blast penalties, no afterburn penalties. You can do pretty well if you know what you're doing. It's what most Pyro mains go to because it's just so reliable and consistent. Goated. The Flare Gun. Okay, do I really need to say anything on this one as well? The Flare Gun is probably the most well designed weapon in the game. I would say it's the best weapon. I just love the Flare Gun, man. The Gas Passer. Okay, so we all agree that the Gas Passer is dog shit. Yeah, right? But let me put it into perspective. For you to just be using the Gas Passer, you have to use it in your secondary slot, which means you can't use any of the mobility boosting secondaries or the ones that are good for damage dealing, and you don't get it on spawn, which means you have to wait like 60 seconds or do 750 damage for you to gain this stupid gas can. And all of that hard work and all of that sacrifices is rewarded for a cloud that just ignites enemies with afterburn for I don't know, 5 seconds. This thing just sucks so bad. Even if you constantly gain it back to back by just doing a bunch of damage, you're gonna be killing enemies with your flamethrower. So even if you throw it at your enemies, you're still gonna accomplish the same thing because, oh wait, the flamethrower also does afterburn damage. This is so trash, bro. Anyways, the Home Wrecker. Okay-ish. I hate playing against it when I'm spy, and it's not really fair against spies because it's certainly not fun to play against. Like, as a pyroman, I have to say it. Getting your saber destroyed within milliseconds in one hit because some guy decided to press his melee weapon in the loadout screen and select the home wrecker is not really fun. And outside of fucking with spies, it doesn't have much for it. You just do less damage and more damage to buildings, but like, what building are you gonna get into melee range with? You could just melt it with a flamethrower anyways. This could only be useful for sentries if you like get on top of it, but when will you get on top of a sentry, bro? The hot hand. I use the hot hand because if you didn't see my community post, I recently created a new Steam account and I played with it for a while. Yeah, I played with myself, haha funny. And man, you get a 1 second speed boost and do 25 less damage on individual swings, which means you do like 22 damage. This thing is pitiful, bro. The lollipop is a reskin, blah blah. The man melter. People just like shit on the man melter because it's not good, but why, bro? It's incredible. You gain crits if somebody plays pyro properly on your team, which is just a situational upside on the fact you have a long distance afterburn dealing 30 damage per shot dealing secondary, which travels 50% faster. This is pretty good. The Maul is a reskin. The Neon Annihilator. The Neon Annihilator is like the home wrecker, except it's way more fun. It's not certainly good, but it's not certainly bad. I love playing on underwater maps and catching people off guard. Really fun to use. Okay. This is a reskin. The panic attack. Man, I love the panic attack. Switching to it from the degreaser and just blasting someone who thinks they can kill you because you are a noob, or using it with the stock flamethrower and tricking people into thinking you're a WM1 loser and a retard is so fun because they'll be so confused when you whip it out and kill them in one shot. But it has its situational upsides and downsides, so it's pretty good. The Phlogistinator. I know people are gonna question me on how the Phlogistinator is not in goated or something, but man, do I dislike the Phlogistinator, bro. Like, if you don't have a pocket up your ass, you're useless. Like, you are useless. You can do anything. Demomen, soldiers, all of the classes that you have a specific ability on every flamethrower except this one to counter them because they're so powerful against you are gone. You can only WM1 and you gain crits after doing 300 damage. But like, to do that 300 damage, you can literally just run into people's faces. Or you can use the Scorch Rot, but if you use the Scorch Rot with the Phlogiston, you're certainly going to hell. This is the Iris skin. The Power Jack, goated. Not much to say. People say this is the best pyro melee, but you are wrong. No, it isn't. The Extinguisher is better. This is a reskin. Why does Pyro have so many flamethrower reskins? I'll put this above the stock flamethrower because it has an achievement for it, and it also has a town kill. The reserve shooter is on Pyro. It's, I don't know, it has its situational moments. If you reflect a rocket at a soldier and he's launched airborne by it, you can mini crit him, but he took 140 damage anyways because you reflected a rocket. It's not that special. The Scorch Shot, I don't really use the Scorch Shot that much because I have a soul, if you believe it or not, but when I did use the Scorch Shot, it felt incredibly stupid to use. I was either sniping people and building charge by doing absolutely nothing, or just doing no damage because only dealing splash damage is pitiful. This thing is so meh. The Sharpened Volcano Fragment. I mean, it can pair well with the Dragon's Fury. It also does afterburn damage in medieval mode. If you pair it with the Sun on a Stick Scout or a Extinguisher Pyro in medieval mode or something, it's not that bad, but not really it. The stock shotgun, I didn't get all of the fame and love for the stock shotgun, but when I started using it, I realized it's pretty good, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in a pretty good tier. The thermal thruster, it helps with flanking, it's also really good for getting behind enemies, and it can help you with getaways. I like using it, it's really fun, average to above average. The third degree is the straight upgrade to the stock axe, but its only upside is so situational that it's not really it. However, it gets bonus points and it gets to be at the top of the tier list because you can fuck over vaccinator medics, and if you use the vaccinator you should be castrated. So yeah, let me just adjust the tier list. This is better than this. This can be more fun than just pyroing like a retard, so I have to put it here. This is all pretty consistent. I have to put it like this. I'm fine with this tier list, I'm fine with this. Flare gun has to be number 1 because I love the flare gun. And yeah, this is pretty much the official pyro weapons tier list made by a certain pyro main. If you disagree, tell me in the comments so I can tell you to kill yourself because you're wrong. And have a good one if you're watching this. Or don't, who am I to force you? Anyways, bye, go fuck yourself.